Welcome to today's edition of the Triple P Podcast at KC, our Pathways and Partnerships podcast. Today we will focus on partnerships as we'll talk with Johnny Zackary, who is the director of the Kilgore College Fire Academy and also the Associate Dean of Public Services at KC. Later on in the program, you'll hear a little bit about Pathways as one of our students, Bart Cerny, who used to be a student for our EMT program and our Fire Academy, now is studying paramedic services here at Kilgore College. We'll hear from him and his pathway to success at KC. That's all coming up on today's edition of the Pathways and Partnerships podcast. I'm speaking with Johnny Zackary. He is the Associate Dean of Public Safety here at Kilgore College, and he runs several of the programs at Kilgore College, or is in charge of them. Johnny, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Manny. Appreciate you.
It's exciting to be with you because every time we talk, there's always something exciting about the Fire Academy, as well as the Police Academy now and our EMT program. So let's talk about all three of those programs to begin with.
Okay, so we'll start with fire. Not that it's more important, because all public safety programs we have here are equally as important. And when the public has a bad day, all three are just as important for us to train those responders. The fire program, we are very fortunate. We have instructors across Texas. We have satellite academies across Texas. But here is the heart here in Kilgore, Texas at Kilgore College. We currently have 20 students that will finish up on the 25th of August. We have online students that just left, took their state test today. And the good part is, which is also a little bit straining, is we have a wait list for some of our classes. So if a student's interested in being a firefighter, through our program, we encourage them to get committed, know that's what they want to do, and go ahead and get their application in so that we can hold that spot for them. We do have Canadians that come to our school, and we ask the students, okay, why are you here? Because it's important to us to get student feedback. And a lot of times it's word of mouth. We do podcasts and all to inform of what we're doing, but it is humbling to know that our students are telling other students, hey, this is where you need to go. So the online is about a 4-month program. You do all your online Fire Academy coursework with an instructor that's assigned to that class. Then you come in for 11 days of skills and then take your state test. So that works well with the student that they can't just take off for 3 months to do the face-to-face. So they get to keep their job. They're out in the public working or in the oil field, whatever their industry is, and then they come in, take 2 weeks of vacation, and they get their firefighter certification once they upload their medical cert, which we'll talk about EMS in a minute. Now, the face-to-face, we have 3 currently. We're going to add a 4th this coming year, and that is a 3-month program, but you're here 8 to 5. You eat, sleep, and drink Fire Academy, even on the weekends when you're doing some studying, but it works well for the student. They're not real comfortable with the online venue, and so they have more of the face-to-face lecture and then the STEAM skills. Either one lands you a very, very sought-after position as a firefighter in Texas or Canada or anywhere you take your IFSAC skills.
So you were the director of the Fire Academy, and now you have the chance to help oversee all of our public safety programs. So what was that transition like? Before we get to talking about those other 2 programs,
Sure.
What was that transition like for you?
So with my background, I was fortunate enough that I was able to be triple certified. So I've been through all the programs and from a student's perspective. So transitioning just to take on other elements of public safety was a little easier because of that. And I'm thankful for that background. We never know what we're doing and how God will use that in our future. But for me personally, that's worked out well. But then try to reinvest in the students' lives through the other 2 additional programs. Now, what's neat is I mentioned that you get your fire certification, but you have to upload your medical. So at minimum, it's best if fire students become an EMT. So we have a very neat feeder program where they'll come thinking they only want to be an EMT, and then they realize they want to be a firefighter. Or they come thinking, I'm just going to be a firefighter, and we have to say, look, you'll need your EMT, and then they become an EMT. And now we have that other leg. We have developed, through a lot of hard work, a 10-month AEMT to paramedic program once you have your basic. And we've actually had students go through all 3 programs, and they're in the third phase of that now.
And so what's the benefit of that to the student? Obviously, for those certifications that are needed for employment, but how does it help them overall, and how does it help them with employment?
So if a student's comfortable with our program and know how we care about them, it's such an easy transition for them just to stay with Kilgore to finish out that education model. We have a student right now he's going to now go to police academy. His EMT is going to come. He's going to get it. And then he has also the associate's degree, which is the other leg of what we do, which is so important for today's firefighter, EMT, or police officer to make sure they tie in the academic part to their certifications.
And you mentioned the police academy. So let's talk about that. Warren Edgerton is the director of the police academy, but you have the chance to oversee that entity as well.
So he's a pleasure to work with. So he has come with some new ideas, and we have been able to move the police academy into a new facility, which is a Kilgore building, Longview North, and that just gives them much more landscape to grow into. We've also created some partnerships, which I know we will visit with. But yeah, he's just really come in. He's got 31 years of experience in the policing industry, and he is just really trying to make sure he brings the best to the table to improve a program that's already good, but make it even better. It's the Kilgore College East Texas Police Academy.
And indeed, you're correct, because the focus of this podcast is partnerships within your program. And of course, we know that other programs on campus need those partnerships, but you particularly, with the 3 programs that you're helping to oversee, you really need those partnerships for the students to get the maximum amount of education they can have.
Absolutely, Manny. So I'll just start with the first partnership, because I started with fire. Let's just stay with fire first. They're all important, but there's actually a little fire in my blood still. So the partnerships with Longview Fire Department, they need us to teach the firefighter to be a firefighter. They've either hired them with no credentials or some credentials. So we teach them, and then they need their EMTs. So Longview needs us to be as strong, because they have a lot of work to do versus just instructing all the time. So we partner, and they provide us some instructors that we've hired, and then we make sure we meet the schedule, and we do this for any fire department. But if they have 8 students that need taught, we will find a way to get them taught, because they need the personnel trained and on the apparatus to do emergency responses. So we also have a partnership with them. They've entrusted us with our new paramedic program, and they have allowed us to hire some of their people part-time. And so we have quality instructors along with our fantastic instructors that we already have. So it just builds a better cohesive attempt to provide the best we can for our students.
And obviously you have, as you mentioned, students from Canada that come. So in a sense, that's a partnership you build internationally as well.
Yes. So partnerships, yes, we talked about entities, but we partner with our instructors. We don't want instructors that just want to say they teach. We want instructors investing in the future of the fire service, the police academy, EMS, to make it a better industry. When we hire an instructor, if they want to make what they're seeing out in the field better, that's a partnership we have with each instructor. And then we partner with each student, because every single student is just as important as the next student, regardless of the program. So it's a partnership to embrace and meet the needs of that student, whatever it is, and show we care, not say we care, but show we care through that journey.
So as we look at those partnerships, we think of some academic partnerships, if you will, with the training, and that includes working with high schools in dual credit programs. Talk about the vast number of programs that you're working with now.
Okay, so we have a very strong dual credit program. Our assistant director of Fire Academy, Julie Webb, has just taken that and owned that program. And she's been mentoring other instructors. We've hired more instructors because we've added Marshall ISD as our newest dual credit for fire starting this couple of weeks. So we have embraced that with another partnership through Marshall Fire, and the partnership of the school and the partnership of our new instructors and existing instructors to get this in front of students. And there's no secret, with our dual credit program, if you live in Marshall and you want to be a firefighter and you get your training starting in high school and you want to be in that community, it's a win-win for the community, the student, and the fire department. So these partnerships go way beyond our imagination. It truly does. And then with that partnership, we always are looking for talent to be instructors in 5-10 years. So we're constantly looking to building that next relationship.
And those relationships are important because in the past, you've had former students come back and become instructors. You also have had former students that have been able to refer other students to come back and learn here as well. So as you build the partnerships, not just with entities, but you also build them with your students, you also build them with businesses, because you're able to have businesses help you obtain the gear that you need to be able to have the students learn safely.
Yes. We're fortunate we have vendors that recognize what we're doing. We're not a fire department, but we are training the future. And they do put tools in our students' hands. They make sure they do the very best they can to make sure we have good equipment. And the students are going to gravitate to what they trained with. So we're fortunate. We've been able to acquire a lot of brand new air packs, brand new gear. Our students do deserve the best. We let them work with some old gear too, so they'll appreciate it. But it is neat to see how people appreciate what we're doing and the longevity of. We're actually fighting more fire as instructors than we ever could as career firefighters, police officers, or EMS providers. Because when you teach, you don't know how many lives those students may go save.
What kind of partnerships did it take to get the wildland fire program going?
So with the wildland, we were fortunate. We reached out to Texas A&M and we bonded with we were the first college to be allowed to teach under the new guidance of, they take our course. It's a 5-day course, 40 hours. We have top-notch instructors that have actually responded over the United States and around the world teaching this course. And they, in turn, upon successful completion, they are able to be a National Wildland Certified Firefighter, but also TCFP Firefighter certification. So they get 2 certifications with 1 class due to the partnership with Texas A&M Forestry Service and us communicating and working within their parameters and us providing the venue, the resources, the instructors, and our portion for that wildland class. The last one had one of the largest amount of wildland students that our instructor, who has taught hundreds of these classes, has ever completed in one setting.
And I think that's so important, again, not only for training firefighters to go across the country or across the world if necessary, but also sometimes you have that threat here in East Texas.
So one thing that's interesting, Manny, that unfortunately horrific flooding in our state, and it's still heavy on us. For certain scenes like that, you don't realize the correlation, but sometimes you have to have that wildland course to be allowed onto certain scenes. So what we're doing is kind of going beyond what we'd ever hope for, but when the bad days happen, it's nice to know that we're trying to help provide credentialing so they can have the credentials to get on certain scenes, such as this horrific event we saw as our fellow Texans go through recently.
Yeah, and a scene like that, I would imagine, is all hands on deck.
Yes. So it needs to be organized. We're fortunate. We have a very strong system in Texas, and it encourages us and charges our batteries to make sure we keep doing all we can to provide the education for those responders in whatever avenue it might be.
Well, with our EMT program at Kilgore College, it wasn't too long ago that a partnership with Longview Fire Department allowed you to have a new vehicle to have the students train on.
Yes, it's about partnerships, relationships, integrity. Those are paramount. They know and value the program we have. They did allow us to have a very nice medic unit. It's now graphic with our graphics, public service training, and EMS, fire police, and it allows the students to have a actual real unit that can be put back in service with the right licensure for that hands-on experience of their EMT program. And that shows the support we have and that we are grateful for.
And then obviously with the move of the police academy from Kilgore to Longview North, that also was partly due because of a partnership with the Longview Police Department.
Yes, so Longview Police Department and Kilgore College Police Academy have partnered. We have 2 separate offerings now, so we have more offerings for students to get their basic peace officer. Longview does an outstanding job, but we are partnered in the building, providing additional opportunities to get professional policing officers out there in the field.
And I guess it's probably appropriate to talk about the fact that the college partners with you with all of these programs, with the different resources they offer to help you with these programs, which sometimes are so beneficial, not just to the students that take them into the community, but to the college as well.
Yeah, so the college partnership, we forget about it sometimes, but we partner the other instructors that teach math, the professors that teaches the math for that academic portion of the Fire Academy. Our administrative staff is super supportive of knowing what we're doing and the difference we're making for students' lives, industry, and all is great to have. And that in itself is so comforting to make us want to work even harder to provide the best product we can for our students. They do spend a lot of money, and when money's tight, they don't tell us no, they find a way around it. And that ingenuity and finding a way to say yes goes a long ways.
Well, and it shows the value that the programs have for this college.
Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this. How often do you go out looking for partnerships, and how often do they come looking for you?
So we have people reach out to us, and as you know, we have a world-class helmet collection. We're going to unveil another fire extinguisher collection that a gentleman said, thank you for valuing the history, and we will capture that soon. But then we have, departments are asking us to help come teach outside of our region also through the CE portion, which is okay. With dual credit, of course, we have a lot of things we have to cover, but we have departments that we will find a yes for them. And so they want to partner with us to provide academies for their folks. We just did we're finishing up our third Rusk County Fire Academy, but we met the customer where they needed us. And that's been very successful. And we are wrapping up an Upshur County Academy, and then we have an academy running in Orange County, Texas right now. So that's right there on the coast. I told them I needed to go see it, but they won't let me go on a vacation in there. But yeah, I hope that kind of explained that.
I think it's exciting what you're doing for all the entities that you now have a chance to be a part of. And so when you took on the job of director of the Fire Academy, and I know that was close to your heart, did you envision all of the things that were happening now? Could you have imagined it?
I didn't plan it. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things in my career path I didn't plan for, but we tell the students, keep an open mind, don't say no, and if you're asked to serve if you need to serve. So if you're asked to do something, before you say no, you might need to serve in that capacity. And it's definitely hard. There's a lot of learning curves. Mistakes are made every day. But when we make mistakes and we work as a team and say, hey, this is not right, and we shoulder up to make it better, that is Kilgore College.
Before we go, as we're finishing up talking about partnerships today, emphasize to us again the importance of those partnerships. I mean, what do they mean to you, to the programs, to the students, and to the college? So
I can't give out any spoilers.
That's okay.
But with these partnerships, there are doors that are going to open because we have partnered. When you try to go alone and you just think, oh, we're the best, and there's going to be a hiccup somewhere. But when we partner and truly care about what we're doing, other doors open, and there's value and further investment into making things even better as we move forward.
Johnny, I appreciate you taking time to talk about the partnerships that affect your programs. Congratulations on all that you've accomplished, and we wish you great success as you press on as the Associate Dean of Public Safety.
Thank you, sir.
It's always great to hear from Johnny Zackary. It's a pleasure to talk to him each time. He's full of energy, full of enthusiasm, and he loves the students and he loves the fire services, and we're glad he is the director of our Fire Academy. Johnny, thank you so much for the time you spent with us talking about the partnerships that keep the Fire Academy going. Also, we want to be able to talk about what's going to happen as far as pathways are concerned with Bart Cerny. Bart Cerny is a student who is studying paramedics here at Kilgore College. Also, he went through the Fire Academy and the EMT program. It'll be a pleasure to hear what Bart has to say about his pathway to success at Kilgore College.
Yeah, my name's Bart Cerny. I'm currently a paramedic student here at Kilgore College. and I previously was a fire academy and EMT student. Originally, I was certificate seeking only, and now I've switched over to actually degree seek through the paramedic program. Looked at Kilgore College. I did 12 years in the Marine Corps, and then I was working a job overseas, constantly gone back and forth. So I was looking at kind of a career shift. Looked into the fire service, wanted to get into the fire service, and looked online, and Kilgore had a very prominent fire academy, so looked into it more, applied, got in, started that journey. Just wanted something local, something I don't have to travel too much, and be able to actually seek the certificates I needed for a true career change. And especially currently at 40 years old, that ability to do that with a full-time work schedule, with family obligations, Kilgore has been a great local resource to do that. I went online. I applied. I took the in-person class, so I did the in-person fire academy. After that, part of the career pathway, you need to seek your EMT B certification, and Kilgore provides that. So I went straight into there. I was still just a student at the time. After I got those certificates, I applied for Longview Fire Department through their program and partnership with the Fire Academy here. We sent a group of us, and I'm now currently in a paramedic class. It started in January. We will graduate at the end of October. And that is funded and pushed through the department, but I still am, as a student, taking classes here through Kilgore and get that credit as well. So I've kind of seen both sides, just from the straight student certificate seeking, and then now how we're working with the local fire department, Longview Fire Department, to get guys and girls getting through paramedic class for the following training that they require, because everyone at Longview Fire Department requires you to be a firefighter and paramedic. So it's funded through the department. There is a work commitment of 4 years for the funding, but they will fund that paramedic class. And they work with Kilgore specifically because it's local, and everyone that's working within the department can go to class off their shift schedule, and they do require that. So they were looking for a resource. They require that everyone achieves paramedic level medical certification. A lot of hires will come in not necessarily with that. So that partnership of the fire department with Kilgore College create a pathway to that resource that now the city uses of a firefighter paramedics has been key. I'm the first class currently. We do have another class right behind me that I believe has a few students in it as well that's working within Kilgore, and there's plans for more classes within the future. So now we're creating that consistent stream of enabling new hires the certification they need through the college in order to achieve that they want jobs, and the citizens need their that medical and fire resource. So a lot of these instructors, because of the certifications you need, are local, and a lot of them do work with local fire departments, a few of them with the Longview Fire Department. So there is a very intermixed on you going through the course, you would be working with the fire department, then you can come back and instruct, because you have to have the certifications in order to be an instructor, in order to teach the course. So it is very, very close dynamic that I've seen, not just with Longview Fire Department. I know the other town agencies, the other fire departments in and around East Texas have personnel that have instructed, and then those of us that go through, especially Fire Academy, where we may not be working yet, we have those interpersonal relationships and that resource through the college to see who's around here, who's hiring, because the ultimate goal is you want to get your certification, you want to work, you want to progress in your new career path. And that's been a huge enabler by the college of getting people from A to B to get out there into the workforce to work on the careers they want to do. And then from the instructor side, that would be some follow-up career progression down the line of instructor certification, their continuous education hours. So it just doesn't stop once you leave with your certificate or your degree at Kilgore. You're coming back, years down the line, maybe continuously for your continuing education, and that partnership is real important for local workforce. A lot of those guys are actually coming back here and instructing, so we see familiar faces during the job or when I am at work. There's mentoring and instruction within the emergency medical field, and then coming to class for the more official curriculum of what we're learning that week. So we get the benefit of getting to be in class, but also go that next day, get hands-on experience, especially through clinicals, as well as just get the hands-on experience within the job. Clinicals are non-paid. However, and it's not just Longview. So we do clinicals at both of the local hospitals, Good Shepherd Memorial, as well as Longview Regional. And if a student is further away, they have the option of running clinicals elsewhere. There are multiple agencies that the college has partnered with that we can actually sign clinicals up for. The various EMS services that run out within the counties, more of the rural, we can schedule clinicals for them as well. And we do have to do some through the hospital as part of the curriculum. And depending on where a student lives, if they're not employed with a department, they can go closer for their clinicals instead of having to travel, like say, to Longview. I know that when I was going through EMT, some students are commuting. They may live out in a more rural area, and they want to, it's easier to travel to your local resource for that. And the college has done an excellent job of making those partnerships with all the local, at least on the EMS side, EMS resources, so you can pick your clinicals that best works with that individual student's schedule. So that is another nice thing that enables students to have their own schedule, and the college is working with them to figure out what the best pathway for their individual success is. So in the future, that is definitely something I have my eye on, of coming back to instruct the EMT classes, fire academy, paramedic. Once you go out there, get some more experience, get some time on the job, progress within the career, and come back and pass that knowledge on to the next generation.
We want to thank you so much for listening to our podcast today. It was great to be able to talk with Johnny Zackary and also with Bart Cerny. We thank them so much for taking time out of their busy schedules to spend time with us here on the Triple P Podcast at KC. We invite you to subscribe to our podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts, also Spotify Podcasts, and of course, as well, you can check out our social media platforms, because we will announce when the next podcast is going to take place. But we thank you so much again for joining us. Tune in next time to the Triple P Podcast at KC.